Welcome to TRS Clips, the channel that we hope is a brain workout for you. The one thing I figured through the course of doing this show is that when you get into these processes of accumulating energy, both good and bad entities are drawn to you.
Of course. Yes.
Can we talk about both good and bad entities?
Yes.
I would love to hear the Wiccan perspective on good and bad entities because I've repeatedly heard the Sanatan Dharma explanations of it. I'm just curious.
In Wicca, there are good and bad entities, or if I don't use the word entities, energies. There are good and bad energies. Some of them have very if I use the word frequencies, they can jab you, come to you. But as you very rightly say, you have to be weak also in body. Keeping the body fit, or let's say clean, is very important. Very important. And the other thing is keeping the mind working, which is a very practical advice which Wicca gives.
Like meditate?
Not only meditate, you have to, we have in our tenets, there are 10 tenets. One of them is that every day, as long as your eyes are able, read 10 pages of, in the old days they said, 10 days of a manuscript. Because the old Wiccans were always writing something. So 10 pages of an old manuscript. And try to learn it by heart. Nowadays we say that, okay, read the newspaper at least and think about it, right? Just be aware of what's happening. So it is keeping the mind alive. The mind is what gives us the energy. By mind, I don't mean the brain really. I mean the inner consciousness, which is really absorbing and which is always there, which is never dying. That consciousness is the spirit, which even Huxley talked about. That spirit has to be kept alive. The minute you lose spirit, you lose everything. And as for prayer, yes, if we want to make, a regular habit of prayer, of course, that's the ideal. But whom shall you pray to? You can change your goddess from day to day. Today I'll pray to Saraswati, tomorrow I'll pray to Isis, the next day maybe Mahamaya, like that. So there is no fixed deity as such. We are praying to the great divine.
Which shows up with different masks.
That's right. That's right. Yes. So that is one difference. The other difference is that, yes, what we call ghosts or spirits, they do exist. We can see them. They need not always, of course, be something to be scared of. And they need not always show themselves. They can show themselves in doing something for you, which you never expected to be done, And you know that that person has helped you, or that spirit has helped you. Benevolent spirit. That's why ancestors are important.
Pitru. Okay, gotcha.
That is important to us, that they are there. And as for bad spirits, yes, there are bad spirits, like, for example, criminals who never reformed, who did harm to others. Not the, person who parked on the wrong side of the road or things like that, but those who harmed others intentionally, they have a hard time finding their rest. Eventually they do, but they have a hard time. So in that intermediate time, they can come and frighten you. They can try to harm you. But if you are all these things, nothing will happen. It's in your consciousness, in your mind.
Has anything tried to ever harm you?
Sometimes, yes.
So how do you handle it?
Well, unless I fall flat on my face, I let it happen. In my mind, I say a few prayers. There are a few prayers to stop being hurt or regaining energy after you have depleted energy. There are a few prayers or things to do. So that's all. And usually, if you are clean, if you have a, let's say, I'm not saying I'm a saint, but if you are relatively good in that way, they are afraid of coming to you.
It's a very pertinent question that audiences have, okay? Because this has become one of the most common topics on social media, the topic of nazar.
Yes, Nazar. That's what I'm talking about. Trying to do ill to another person.
Okay. Okay. So whether it's an entity that puts nazar on you or a human being,
A human being can use an entity to put nazar on you. They won't come and do it themselves. They will use an entity. Like you had sometimes evil gnomes in the West. You had jinns. You had what is called pretatmas. All these things, call them superstition, call them reality, whatever. People have talked about them.
how do you take off nazar?
Take off nazar, take onion seeds, kalonji, put it in a little bowl, keep it in a corner of your room for 7 days, and then throw it out to the earth, clean earth. A lot will be relieved, which is a very simple thing, a very household thing. The other thing is lighting a candle, immediately blowing it out.
Lighting a candle.
Like, say, a flame is
A flame.
a flame, putting it out, lighting it, putting it out immediately with your own breath,
Just once.
just once.
It's like a cleanse.
It will cleanse the atmosphere. It will cleanse the atmosphere. So these are small practices. I don't know, maybe it's a thing of the mind, it's psychological, but they seem to work.
What if
Actually, nowadays the New Agers are masters of this. They will cure anything and everything. So, I mean, I have come away from all that. I have come away.
Okay. Going back to those entity conversations, at what stage of your journey with Wicca did those filters get lifted off your mind, where you could suddenly start sensing things more quickly?
Well, I think some of the psychic abilities, even in a light way, were with me from early
Childhood.
days. Because I remember one day, that was in Montreal. So now and then, when these people from India came to Montreal, my father would entertain them. They would come to our house and all that. At that time, his name is still remembered, Homi Baba. He was a wonderful man. He had come to our house for dinner.
Wow.
And I was a small, at that time I was quite small, about 10 or 11 years old. And we sat at the dinner table, just the four of us, my father, my mother, Dr. Baba, and myself. And I mean, a child at that age, of course, doesn't know all the, polite rules. I kept on staring at him, kept on staring. And finally he said, "Ipsita, are you looking at my long nose?" He had a rather a hooked nose. So I said, "No, but a name is coming to me. Do you know that person?" So he said, "Who?" So I said, "The name I can't say, but it's a German. It's a German, and he's a scientist. And he has a long nose." So Dr. Baba said, "Are you talking of Hertz, who discovered many things in the German laboratory? I think it was Hendrik Hertz." So I said, "Well, I don't know his name, but he had a long nose and he's in a, science place." He said, "Yes, perhaps you saw my past life."
Wow. Homi Baba.
Homi Baba said that.
As a joke, or
No, he meant it. He meant it.
so you think he had a premonition that he was Hertz?
Yes, I think he had a premonition. So, of course, I mean, to me, it was all something, playful. But the name, when he said it, I said, "Yes, that's the name, that's the name." And I see his face, and his face is just like yours. It was very silly of me.
Wow.
But I couldn't stop myself.
I'm very tempted for Vaishnav to pull up Homi Baba and Hertz.
Look at the nose.
Wow.
See?
Yeah. Wow. So you think this is the same soul in two different bodies?
Yes, yes. I think he was a pioneer. Homi Baba, of course, was a pioneer. And I mean, I couldn't read anything else, but I just saw these two faces which were looking familiar.
Yet another scientist who's inclined to the occult.
Yes, right.
Do you have any Indian context stories like this other than Homi Baba?
About premonitions.
Premonitions and
Premonitions. Well, I told you about that story about, producer who was giving Diane's a bad name. And that time I didn't stop. That was where, I brought forth all my strength. I took a letter to the president. I said, this cannot be. Women are being demeaned. So he gave a letter. And he said, go to the Women's Commission. I went to the Women's Commission. They were very for me. They said, no, this cannot happen. We will want to see that film. So they were called over to Delhi. The producer didn't go. She sent over some of her team. So they had to come and show the film. And these people said, no, you have to snip out all these places where you are calling them Dianes and showing these superstitious things about them. So they had to do that. The film flopped. And I don't know why. This was the strange thing. About a month or 3 weeks later, this producer's house was raided rapidly. I mean, something came down on her, I didn't do anything. People suspected that maybe I had said something. I didn't do anything. I just let it be. I told them that this is wrong, and they did the rest.
Are you able to look at a photo of a person and tell if something has been done on them? Like, are you able to see an aura?
Sometimes. Not always. Sometimes, yes.
Is it rude for me to pull up a photo and...
No.
Okay. I'm a very big sports fan. There is a footballer who's my age. His name is Paul Pogba. And Pogba, yeah. Actually. I think his family, I can't remember which country they're originally from, but they settled in France. And anyone who understands football will tell you that this is one of the most talented footballers that this planet has ever seen. And everything was going right in his life. And in a span of 2-3 years, suddenly his career, because of circumstances, had like a bit of a dip. And then he was accused of taking some substance, and one of his family members deceived him. I believe his brother tried to rob him. And there was a lot of witchcraft
stories going
around about him.
I see.
Including, I mean, I don't know now how true that is, but what ended up happening was that he had to take a break from football for 4 years. He's just come back now.
Okay.
But he's probably missed one very important phase of his own career.
Yes.
I'm 32. So that 28 to 32 patch is very important in a sports person's life. So any football fan who's seen Paul Pogba grow, their heart goes out to Paul Pogba. But he's back now and things are looking nicer.
He has to build up again.
Yeah. This is him. This is the guy. But...
Okay. A woman let him down.
You can tell...
Yes. He was, truly bewitched.
As in it was...
She was a French girl. Her name had some Pascal, the word P, letter P. I don't know. That must have been one of her last names, or she knew, or she worked with someone called Pascal. And he was quite involved with her. And she never intended to let it go beyond a certain point. But he was serious. And she was a white girl.
Wow.
She had something to do with it.
You clearly don't watch football, right? Like that's...
No, I'm not.
So this is just a download you got. Okay.
I might be right, I might be wrong. I don't know. But I saw that clearly.
Can you just Google Paul Pogba wife on web? And okay, so it's not this lady.
Not that lady, no. This was a lady he was not married to.
I mean, I don't know, but he was one of my favorite footballers of all time. Like he could really create magic with his feet.
No, it was his brother was in fact in league with this woman.
So the brother definitely tried robbing him. That's public knowledge. And he was so Paul Pogba was a world-class footballer, was earning a crazy amount of money and was taking care of the whole family. And it was joyful to even see him play football. Like as a viewer, a non-football fan could watch Paul Pogba and go like, I want to see this guy play more. It's so pretty. And then his whole life turned upside down.
Well, he was, getting a bit careless, I would say. And his family was jealous. Certain members, they were jealous. And when he got involved with this particular girl, the brother took advantage of it. And she was no good for him. He did not bring it out in the open, but if one digs deeper, that will come.
If Paul Pogba is watching this, I just want to say, we all love you, Paul. Shout out to you. And we're always rooting for you. Thank you for consuming this clip, दोस्तों. अगर ऐसे ही और clips explore करने हैं, तो इस channel के playlists को ज़रूर explore करना.